Right, so I'm working on the board, and it'll have the expectations, the station setup, what we're learning today. So just the way I made it was with the 3M Scotch tape. Got that at Michael's. Then found these smaller strips. It's kind of like, looks like electrical tape, but it's kind of like a scrapbooking tape, and it's thinner. And I got that at the dollar store, Dollar Tree. And then this one, striped one that matches my theme. I got this one at Michael's as well. So first I took some string, measured out everything, the midway points, put my basic line of tape down with the Scotch tape. And then now I have all of my printouts that I created. And this one says, today you will learn principles of human services. So now I'm just taking double-sided sticky tape. It's again scrapbooking tape, easy to come off with alcohol, rubbing alcohol. And then I'm just putting all of the pieces up on the board. I did go ahead and measure out sheet protectors. So this side will be my freshman side, and this will be my sophomore side. The sheet protectors I did measure out. The insert is from the outsides. So when I do put my TEAC or my student expectation language objective that I already have pre-printed and ready to go on cardstock, I just slip it in the pocket as I switch from chapter to chapter each week. Alright, so it says student expectation language objective, TEAC, and chapter. This is a station setup, and then we'll have today you will learn, and on top of each of the square you have the principles of human services and introduction to cosmetology. Now I'm taking the decorative tape and I'm going to put it and line it up at the bottom. The reason why I like to put the black stripes on there first is so that I can get a nice even line, and then once I have the even line, then I can come in and just very easily line it up and get a good measurement. Okay, so now I'm just fixing the sheet protector pockets in each individual square. I had originally placed them with a little bit of that tape. You can also use painter's tape if you're afraid that it might chip off the paint. This is a dry erase board wall, and so over the 3 years we've been here, I've experimented with different kinds, and so the Scotch tape is really great. It does not peel or chip the paint at all. So I want the insert opening to be on the outside, so it's going to be this way. I don't like this Office Depot, I don't like this strip, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut it right at the rim of the little, I don't know, I guess you would call it where they melt the plastic together, so it makes it a pocket right on the corner edge, so that way I can get rid of that ugly white hole punch section, but I don't tear it, so when I put my inserts in, the pocket does not tear. Okay, it's still got its little chip piece or whatever you call it. Okay, so it's going this way, so I'm going to turn it around. On the back side, I'm going to take my double-sided sticky tape. Okay, I'm going to measure it out. Put my tape right along the very corner edge. My sheet protector. We've been doing this on the tabletop and just to show. Okay. And then peel the backing. Make sure it's correct. Come back in through here. And before you push it down, just measure it out. Make sure you're happy where it's going to end up. And with this, which I probably should have done first, but I got a little ahead of myself. Push it down, and then there's your pocket. Okay, so I want to show you now how I utilize this board that I created. I have it in the classroom every year. How it works is the students come in. As soon as they walk in the door, and I greet them by shaking their hand, they come in, I tell them, read the board. They look underneath either 9th grade or 10th grade, what we're doing today, what they need to set up, and of course their student expectation, language objective, TEK, and chapter are in the middle as well. So they come in, they read that, they look at my table setup and match their table, their desk, their area to make it match mine. So I have all the supplies set up in baskets and groups, or the worksheets that I need to hand out, they're all there, so they all get what they need. And so that way, by the time I'm done, everybody comes in, I'm shaking everybody's hand. By that time, the bell rings, at least a good 70% of the students are already setting up, if not already done, which helps me. As soon as that gets done, close the door, I say hello everybody, how are y'all doing, ask a few questions just to, you know, show them that I'm interested in how their day is going. And then I go take attendance, submit that, or depending on what time it is, for a district we have to take the attendance at 9:30, but take attendance and then get started with the day's lesson. So it really helps me, instead of the students asking, what are we doing today? What are we doing today? And me replying to every single student that will, and it will be every single student that asks the same question. I just say, read the board, read the board. And at the beginning of the school year, it does take a little while for them to get the hang of it. But eventually, after I say read the board 100 times, then they'll start telling each other, read the board, and then they'll just eventually come in, they look at the board, read it, look at my station setup, grab their supplies, set up their station, and we're good to go. It takes a little bit to get them used to it and going on, rolling the ball with that, but they eventually do get it. So what I do with the board is I print up my TEKs. Okay, so these are the new approved TEKs for this school year. And so this year I'm teaching Principles of Human Services, which is 9th grade, and then also Introduction to Cosmetology, which is 10th grade. So I go through my TEKs, I open up a Word document, copy paste all of the TEKs onto a Word document, and what I do is, using, I believe it was either 40 or 50 font size, I space everything out so that way I can make this binder, and this binder gives me each individual TEK on one sheet. So the pockets that I created in the middle of the board layout, these pages is what I stick in the pockets. So for example, one of them, let's say we would do this one here. Okay, so I would place it, insert this. It's not laminated because I don't want my binder to be bulky, but all of one section is on one page. It's big enough for the student to read it. All I do is at the beginning, or Friday before I leave, I prep for the next week, where I come in really early on Monday, and then I pull what I need out according to what chapter or lesson I'm on, and then I slip it in. I write the TEK up on the board according to where I'm at, and then the chapter as well. This year I plan on making it is cardstock. You use regular paper, but I like the sturdiness of the paper, of the cardstock paper. But I plan to do chapter 1, histories and cosmetology, history and opportunity. So that way I don't have to take the time to write it on the board. I slip this out of my binder and I slip it in the sheet protector, and it saves me a minute, but a minute is a lot, especially when you're in a hurry, you're trying to do things in the morning, or you're running behind, or whatever the case may be. Just make your life easier. It does take time to create it, but once you have it, you print it, and you have it in your little binder, you're good to go. You can even, once you get organized, put your TEKs according to what chapter you're on. You can put them so that way your binder is in order from the beginning of the school year to the end of the school year if you lay out your chapter agenda beforehand. So anyway, when I'm done, I just put a little sticky note. I have little sticky notes back here, and so when I'm done, I put a sticky note on there to remind me where I need to put it back, and then put my sheets back in here whenever I'm done with them on Friday at the end of the week, or if it's a teak I'm working on for one day, whatever the case, 2 weeks, whatever the case may be. So I like the concept of it. This took me a good while to create, but now that I have it, it's done. The teaks aren't going to change for a long time. I did have to though, the teaks were different last year, so every time the teaks change, which is not often, but when they do change, you do have to make another one, and you want to make sure you have the correct teaks. But I love it. It's a great system. It saves me tons of time. Again, student expectation, language objective, what the teak is, and what chapter we're on is what is in the middle. Again, 9th grade's on one side, 10th grade's on the other. And then also on the side of one of the top boxes, it says, today you will learn. So in our school, we did instructional rounds this year, or I was able to participate in that. And what is it that the students are learning in class? Not just what are they doing, but what are they learning? And so that is something I'm focusing on this year to create, to make sure I establish that in the classroom, that this is what they are learning. And then that way the student, when they say, what are we doing today, we'll read the board. And then the other one on the bottom, it's station setup. So what is it that they're going to need to be successful for the day or for the lesson, what we're working on. So again, it does take time to create. Okay, it just takes a minute to, not a minute, it takes a few days to sit down and get it all together and organize yourself. But again, once you've got this, once it's done, your life is so much more easier. It's done. When you have a walkthrough and you have these things on the board, you just look way put together. You know, in our school we have a lot of people that come through and take tours of our facility, and so anybody at any point in time can walk in my classroom, doesn't matter what day of the week or what lesson, what chapter, and without having to ask questions, they can easily read the board, and everything that's on the board is what we're doing in class. So it works out really great. If you have any questions, or if you need help with the teaks, again, I use Word document. I just copy the teaks from the internet, paste it on the Word document, space everything out so that there's one letter, one bullet point per page. I believe it's, again, a 40 or 50 font and font size, and it just works out. It was really great for me. So hopefully that helps you guys out, especially new teachers. If this is something that your district or school requires to have on in the classroom, posted in the classroom, then hopefully that does help you out some. If you have any questions, again, let me know, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.